Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing. Don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite, Friday Night Dynamite for June 4th, 2021. Now, overall, man, with this show, man, it was okay. It wasn't the best show. It felt like nothing happened on the show besides the Andrade Cien Almas showing up on AEW, which was a big deal. You know that the only thing that people will be talking about tonight's show was Andrade Cien Almas showing up and making his debut and aligning himself with Vicky Guerrero, and that's it, man. That's it. As far as the matches and everything, the Bucks versus the Death Triangle was probably the best match on the show. The only match that I feel was important. And everything else, every other matches, it felt like it was added on the show just to be on the show. The Dustin Rhodes and Nick Camarado match, that bull rope match, I don't know why that was the main event. Like I really don't know why that was the main event, but they put it in the main event. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with Dynamite, man. You know, the Andrade Cien Almas is the only thing that people will be talking about because that's the only highlight on this show was Andrade Cien Almas showing up, man. And so yeah, so this is the AEW Dynamite Friday Night Dynamite review on the Ryan Awesome Show for June 4th, 2021. And as I said earlier, man, if you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know my next video will come out because I am here each and every single week. And so yeah, man. So first off, man, we started off the show with a tag team match, and it was the Death Triangle. 2/3 of the Death Triangle. That's Pac and Pentagon Jr. or Penta El Miedo. I call him Pentagon Jr. or just Pentagon versus the Young Bucks. That's Matt and Nick Jackson, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions, with Don Callis and the Good Brothers, Don Gallows and Karl Anderson, in their corner. And so yeah, so this match right here, best match on the show, man. So yeah, first off, before the match even started, man, you had the Bucks. They gave like Michael Nakazawa their headband and all that stuff, and so you had Frankie Kazarian. He had came out of nowhere and just beat down Michael Nakazawa. Because remember, Frankie Kazarian, he says that he will go after each and every single member of the Elite, and so he did the same thing last time with one of the Good Brothers. I think it was Karl Anderson last time. I think it was last week, and now he went after Michael Nakazawa. And so yeah, so we had a double outside moonsaults to the Bucks from the Death Triangle. and then both teams were going back and forth trying to one up each other. And we had a super kick to Nick from Pentagon, and we had a springboard cutter to Matt from Pac, and we had a PK kick to Pac from Nick, and then Matt he had faked a outside diving move, which I thought was funny. So it looked like he was trying to go for a tope suicida or something like that, but he had changed his mind and he just ran outside of the ring. He got out of the ring and just ran around the ring and just gave Pac a clothesline. So I thought that was really funny, man. And so yeah, we had a spear to Pac from Matt, and we had a rolling German suplex to Nick from Pac, which was a nasty spot. Nick he had landed right on his neck, bro. Landed right on his neck, so that was nasty. And so yeah, we had a hot tag to Penta, and he hit sling blades to the Bucks. And so yeah, so Pentagon he was going crazy on the Bucks. And so we had a beautiful pop-up powerbomb to Matt from Pac, and we had a diving double foot stomp to Matt from Pentagon right in the testicles, and which should have been a disqualification, but it wasn't. So yeah, we had super kicks to the Bucks from the Death Triangle, and we had a Canadian Destroyer to Nick from Pentagon, which was nice, and we had another Canadian Destroyer to Pentagon from Matt. So they were going back and forth with Canadian Destroyers. And so yeah, we had a package power driver to Matt Jackson from Pentagon, and a German suplex to Pac from Nick, right? Yeah, from Nick on the ring apron. And so yeah, that was a nice spot too, man. And so yeah, so at one point we had the referee. The referee got knocked over at one point in this match. And so yeah, so Nick he, while the referee was distracted and everything, or not distracted, but as the referee was knocked out, you had Nick. He had took off Pentagon's mask, and so Nick he had thought that he had took off Pentagon's mask, but he didn't, because Pentagon he had another mask on. So Nick he was turned around, taunting to the crowd and all that stuff. And so yeah, so Pentagon he had a low blow. He get kicked Nick right in his testicles, man. Low blow to Nick from Penta behind the referee's back. The referee did not see it. And so yeah, so this right here, I thought this was the end of the match right here. We had Pac, he had a black arrow on Nick, and then Matt he had broke up the pin. And so at that point I was like, oh my god, they about to lose, because nobody has ever kicked out of the black arrow. When he hit it in WWE, nobody ever kicked out of it, and when he hit it in AEW, nobody has ever kicked out of the black arrow. And so at that point I thought that was it, but Matt he had broke up the pin. And so yeah, so to end the match, we had Brandon Cutler. He had got involved in the match too. And so yeah, he had the camera that he used to film the Being the Elite show. And so yeah, he had hit Pac. He had Pac with the camera in his bad leg, or his surgically repaired ankle, because he have a history of ankle issues. And so yeah, so we had one of the Bucks, they had rolled up Pac. I think they grabbed on the tights too to win the match. So the Bucks won the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, you had the Bucks. They attacked the Death Triangle, but Eddie Kingston had ran out to the ring and chased off the Bucks. And then another thing, they had mentioned that Jon Moxley was out indefinitely, so they said that the Bucks had took him out. But Jon Moxley is gonna spend time with his family because he is having a baby. He has I think a baby girl on the way, so they sending him home. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, great opening match, man. A lot of great spots in this match, and the best match on the show, man. And so yeah, and once again, man, Pac hitting that black arrow on Matt, I think it was, on either Bucks members, him hitting the black arrow, I thought that was the end of the match, man. But they made you believe that Pentagon and Pac was gonna win the match, man. So yeah, so that was it with that. Now what will happen next with them? I don't know. But yeah, that was it with the match. Really good match, man. And so right after that, you had Tony Schiavone. He was out in the ring. He had introduced Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. And so yeah, so Mark Henry had came out to the ring. I wondered what his theme music would have been, but he came out to no theme music. And so yeah, so Henry he had came out to the ring. He had spoke, and so Henry he had said that he's not here. He's not here to fix AEW because AEW is not broken, but he is here to turn the screws. So that's what Henry has said. And so Schiavone he has said that he had asked Mark Henry, "Are you ever gonna get back into the ring?" And so the crowd was chanting yes, 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 and all that stuff. And so Henry, he said that, I'm not gonna tell you yes, but I am here. I am here to tell you that, I have a lot left in the tank. And so yeah, so that's as a yes. So yeah, so yeah, first off, and then right after that, man, we had Vicky Guerrero, man. We had Vicky Guerrero came out screaming to the top of her lungs, "Excuse me, excuse me." And so yeah, it felt like I was watching SmackDown from 2010 to 2011, man. Like that, her screeching, "Excuse me," brought me so many memories, bro. Watching SmackDown and Raw. So yeah, so she had interrupted both Henry and Schiavone and told both of them to get out of the ring, like get the hell out of my ring. And so Vicky Guerrero, she got in the ring and she had introduced somebody. She said that this superstar or this wrestler is a third generation superstar. And so yeah, she had introduced Andrade El Idolo, formerly known as Andrade Cien Almas. So at first when Vicky Guerrero had announced Andrade Cien Almas or Andrade El Idolo, nobody cheered or nothing. Like nobody made a sound, and like everybody was like, "What?" And so yeah, when he walked out to the ring, that's when you heard the crowd reaction. And so yeah, so Andrade he had came out in a nice looking suit, man, with his sunshades and all that stuff. And he went into the ring, and he said that, he said that he will be the face of AEW. He will be the face of AEW, and so that was it with that. And he walked away. That was it. Now with the debut, I'm glad that Andrade is in AEW, man. I'm glad he's in AEW, but man, his debut should have been more impactful, man. It was not impactful tonight. It wasn't, man. That's just me. It wasn't impactful. What I would have done, man, I would have had Andrade Cien Almas come out and just attack somebody, mysteriously attack somebody, and then reveal himself later. Like same thing how John Moxley did. What John Moxley did and everybody else, how they came in and attacked somebody. That's what should have been Andrade. Andrade should have done that, man. Now he did call out Kenny Omega before he stepped foot in AEW. Andrade he did call out Kenny Omega and say he wanted the AEW World Championship. Now I probably would have. I don't know if it would have worked, but I probably would have sent him after Omega. If you would have had him attack Kenny Omega, what at whatever pay per view it would have been at, maybe a All Out, or probably should have been at Double or Nothing. Had Andrade attack Kenny Omega at a pay per view, that would have got a better reaction. But tonight, man, tonight he did not get a good reaction, man. He didn't. He did not get a good reaction. Yes, everybody is excited that he's here in AEW, but man, he did not get a great reaction though. He didn't, man. That's how it came off to me. It may have came off to you differently, but how it came off to me, man, he did not get a great reaction. And so yeah, yes, is a great pairing, Vicky Guerrero and Andrade Cien Almas. Vicky Guerrero is a great mouthpiece. She's a great mouthpiece. Now, what exactly is he gonna do in AEW? That's the question. What is he gonna do in AEW? I don't know. And who exactly is he gonna go after first? He's not gonna go after a championship first. It's not gonna be fair. Have him go through somebody first. Who that somebody is, I don't know. But man, Andrade Cien Almas is in AEW, and the matches that he can have in AEW, man, is dude freaking phenomenal. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he does next, bro. But yeah, so that was it with that. The highlight of the show, man. The highlight of the show, Andrade Cien Almas, the formerly known as Andrade Cien Almas, he goes by Andrade El Idolo, is All Elite Wrestling. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, right after the Andrade Cien Almas or the Andrade El Idolo debut, we had a match, and it was a tag team match, and it was the Nightmare family. That's Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare now, and Big Shotty Lee Johnson, with Arn Anderson in their corner versus the Factory. That's QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo. And so at that point, I was like, dude, why are we having this match again? Why are we having this feud again? That's why I was like, why are we having this feud again? And so at this point, I was like, man, I do not care about this match. I don't. And so yeah, so we had to start off the match. We had a drop kick to QT from Johnson, and then we had Ogogo. He had got in the ring, and him and Cody were going back and forth. He had an overhead belly to belly suplex to Cody, and we had a neck breaker to QT from Johnson. And so yeah, we had a big boot. We had a big boot stomp. It looked like it was a stomp. It was a stomp. It looked like a big boot stomp to Lee Johnson outside of the ring from Ogogo, which was explosive, looked brutal. And so yeah, so the factory they had took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. They love that picture in picture. And so we had a backbreaker into a flatliner to Johnson from QT. And we had a hot tag to Cody. He took out QT. He had a disaster kick to Ogogo. And then Cody had hit a power slam to QT, so that's shades of his former mentor and legacy, Randy Orton. And so, yeah, we had Cody. He had locked in a figure four leg lock to QT. And we had a frog splash. So Ogogo, he had hit a frog splash to Cody to break up the submission move. And QT had hit his finishing move, the diamond cutter, to Cody. And Johnson, he had hit it like a diving. I don't know what the hell he hit, but it looked like it was a diving corkscrew to QT Marshall, and to break up the pin. And so yeah, so we had Aaron Solo who was there too. He had distracted the referee, and the referee was distracted. You had Anthony Ogogo had knocked out Cody Rhodes with a right hand, and so Cody was knocked out to the mat, and so QT he had fall right on top of Cody to cover Cody for the win. So the factory wins the match, and right after that you had QT Marshall. He had grabbed the microphone and he was saying that he just shocked the world by beating Cody Rhodes and all that stuff. And he said that nobody believed him. People like Tony Schiavone saying, he was, talking trash to Tony Schiavone, saying that, you never believed in me. You never believed in me. You always laughed at me, never believed in me and all that stuff with that stupid look on your face, talking trash to Tony Schiavone. And so yeah, so that was it with that. The right team did win this match. I was hoping that the factory did win this match because if they would have lost, man, I would have been like, man, they are a bunch of losers, man. I mean, they're losers now, man, but man, I would have been like, dude, having them as a faction was a waste because none of them won. But yeah, the factory did win the match, which was the right move. I think if Cody would have won, if Cody would have got the pin, I think I think he would have got booed. He would have got booed. Now it did sound like when Cody came out to the ring, I did hear a little bit of some boos. I did hear some boos when Cody came out because man, Cody is putting himself in these big matches when he don't need to be in these big matches. Just like the Double or Nothing, he did not need to be on Double or Nothing. He didn't, bro. That match should have been somebody else's match. Cody is not doing anything important, so that's why everybody wants him to go away, man, because he's not in anything important. So yeah, just get Cody off of TV, man. He is having a baby girl on the way, so have him spend time with his wife and his kid, his daughter. You know. So yeah, that was it with that. You know. And so yeah, so right after that we had the Inner Circle. We had Chris Jericho, Le Champion, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Proud and Powerful. That's Santana and Ortiz, and they were celebrating their Stampede victory, their Stadium Stampede match against the Pinnacle. And so yeah, so Jericho he grabbed the microphone. He said that they have like free T-shirts. They had free T-shirts in the crowd, and if you look under your seat, each and every single person had like a Stadium Stampede Inner Circle style T-shirt. And so yeah, so Jericho he had congratulated Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara, who is the person that who's the reason why the Inner Circle is still together. And so yeah, so Sammy Guevara he said that Double or Nothing is a night that he will never forget. And he said that he loves the Inner Circle. He loves each and every single member of the Inner Circle. And Santana, he said that, Santana had grabbed the microphone. He was talking about FTR and how they try to end their career and all that stuff, saying that, you try to take food off of our tables, and when you try to do that, man, you're in war. Like we're about to go to war with you guys for what you did with us, what you did to us. And so Hager had grabbed the microphone and he had called out Wardlow and he challenged him to a match, a MMA. It said an MMA cage fight in 2 weeks. So and then Jericho, he had said that every time he sees the Pinnacle, it pisses him off. And then Jericho, he says that he must settle the score with MJF, because MJF, Jericho, he's still remembering that fall from that blood and guts match, and so so Jericho, he wants payback, he wants his revenge against MJF, and so yeah, so he said that Stadium Stampede beating that they gave to the to the Pinnacle wasn't good enough. It's not good enough. Like we still want y'all. You know, we still want to fight y'all. And so yeah, so Jericho, he said that it will never be over with the Pinnacle. And then Jericho, he says that he has to beat MJF and he will beat MJF. And to end the promo, Jericho has said that the inner circle never forgives and never forgets. And yeah, that was it with that. Great promo as always from Chris Jericho. And yeah, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Now, what exactly are they gonna do next? Are they gonna have individual matches? Probably that's where it's going. Because you got that Wardlow and Jake Hager stuff, the MMA fight, which should be really intriguing. It's different. So I want to see like what they'll do in that match, how they're gonna play it off on TV. And it looks like FTR and Proud and Powerful are gonna go at it. Maybe vie after the tag team titles. That's what I would do. Have them compete for the tag team titles, and whoever can win them first, have them feud over the titles. That's what I would do, man. And Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears, you could send them after each other. And yeah, so that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. They showed a video of the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. They were talking about that triple threat match from Double or Nothing last Sunday. And so yeah, they were upset that Don Callis had cost Orange Cassidy the win because he was this close from becoming new AEW World Champion. And they had called Don Callis a con man. They had called him a con man. And so Cassidy, he had said that, it's not over yet. I still want the AEW World Championship, and it's not over yet. And so yeah, right after that, we had Alex Marvez. He had interviews Kenny Omega, Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and the Unified Impact World Champion and the Triple A Mega Heavyweight Champion. And so yeah, he was with Don Callis, the Invisible Hand. And so yeah, it looked like they were in a control room. It looked like they were in a control room and they were watching their match, the triple threat match from Sunday. And so yeah, Marvez, he had asked Omega about his title defense against Jungle Boy. And so Omega, he had said that he wasn't worried about him because the result will always be the same. He wins and everybody else lose. And so right after that, we had Omega and Don Callis. They sung Jungle Boy's theme music. They were humming it. And so right after that, speaking of Jungle Boy, we had a tag team match, and it was Jungle Boy and Christian Cage versus Private Party, Isiah Kassidy and Marq Quen, with Matt Hardy, Big Money Matt Hardy in that corner. And so yeah, so we had double team moves to Private Party, and we had a drop kick to Jungle Boy from Quen in midair. We had a hot tag to Cage. He took out Private Party. He had a diving European uppercut to Cassidy. And we had Hardy. He had distracted the referee. And then Quen, he had tripped up Cage, who was on the top rope. And so that's how they took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture. And so yeah, so this was funny right here, man. We had Private Party. They had mocked Christian Cage with a 5-second pose. So that's shades of Edge and Christian. And so yeah, they had held up Christian, who was knocked out. Who wasn't who was knocked out. So they held him up and they did the 5-second pose with him. So I thought that was funny too. And so yeah, so Private Party, they were showing off a lot in this match. We had Cage, he had took out Private Party with a double reverse DDT. And we had a hot tag to Jungle Boy, he had took out Private Party. And he had a brain buster, a beautiful brain buster, man, to Quen. And Cassidy, he had poked Jungle Boy in the eyes. And so yeah, he had poked him in the eyes, and Quen he rolled up Jungle Boy and grabbed the tights. and it didn't work. And so the private party guys, they try to go for their finishing move, the gin and juice. But Christian, he had stopped it from happening, so he had a spear on Cassidy. And then in the match, we had Jungle Boy. He had locked in a submission move, the snare trap submission, to Quen to win the match. So Quen taps out. So therefore, Jungle Boy and Christian Cage wins the match. So this is a fun match, really fun match. And so yeah, so right after that, we had Christian Cage. He had got attacked by Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy had hit the Twist of Fate on Christian Cage on the stage ramp, and that was it with that. So we might be seeing a match between Christian and Matt Hardy. So yeah, and yeah, another thing, Private Party, they were not wearing their ring gear. They were wearing like a shirt. They were wearing like a dress shirt and khaki pants. So I don't know why they got rid of their regular attire. I guess they're part of Matt Hardy's brand. I guess the Hardy family office now. I don't know, man. I don't know, but they look better in their original ring gear because you know what they're wrestling in right now. That's not wrestling gear. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had Team Taz. They had spoke. That's Taz, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Hook, and Will Hobbs. I think that's all five. Yeah. So yeah, Taz, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, and Hook. So yeah, so Taz, he had told Adam Hangman Page. Y'all talking about Adam Hangman Page and the match that he had with Brian Cage at Double or Nothing. And he told Page to pick a partner from the Dark Order, because you like to hang out with those guys a lot. How about you pick a partner from the Dark Order to face Will Hobbs and Brian Cage? And so yeah, so Taz, you know, at the end of that, he told Page that you mess with the wrong crew. Like, dude, you messing with the wrong type of people. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He came out to the ring. Well, he was already in the ring. He had introduced Darby Allin and Sting. And so yeah, they both came out to the ring to Sting's theme music. And so Sting, he grabbed the microphone. He said that Double or Nothing is a night that he'll never forget. And he said that, yeah, so he thanked the fans for their support and all that stuff. And so the crowd started chanting, "You still got it," and all that. And so we had Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page had interrupted via satellite. And they said that Sting, they said that Sting had carried Darby Allin ever since Sting showed up. So yeah, so we had Sky and Page. They had challenged Darby Allin, to pick a partner. Pick a partner besides Sting. Because they believe that Sting is the reason why they won, and they believe that Darby Allin's the weak link. So they want Darby Allin to pick another partner who's not Sting to go up against Page and Sky. And so yeah, so right after that, Darby, he had nothing to say about it. He had nothing to say, and that was it. That was it with that. Maybe he'll have something to say about it next week, but he had nothing to say tonight. And so at that point, I was like, dude, the feud should already be over, man. The feud should be over. They lost. They lost to Sting and Darby Allin, so that should have been it. Send Sting and Darby Allin after something else, man. I said this. I said probably send them after the tag team titles. Have them contend for the tag team titles since they won as a team, and they beat Sky and Ethan Page. I'll have them contend after the titles. But yeah, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, we had Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, who is the new AEW Women's Champion, and it was her championship celebration. And so yeah, so this was a disaster, man. This was an absolute disaster. Dude, I expected better from this. But yeah, so first off we had some people in the ring, some other wrestlers. I think it was Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi and JD Drake and Ryan Nemeth and Serpentico and who was it? I don't even remember. But yeah, those are the guys that I remember. So yeah, so they were in the ring. They were celebrating with Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker. So yeah, Rebel was there too, and Tony Schiavone was there in the ring too. And so yeah, so we had Britt Baker. So yeah, it had like a tray, of hamburgers. And so yeah, so Baker had said that all of you guys have free burger tickets, hamburger coupons, and so yeah, and it's gonna be for all of you fans. It's gonna be for all of you fans, and so yeah, so she just told them to check under your seats and you'll have a coupon, and so they check under the seats, it was nothing. Coupons wasn't there. The coupons was in the ring, and so Baker, she had said that none of the fans were ever there for her. All they did was talk down on her or talk bad about her. And she said that there's only three important people that's gonna take a bite of the hamburgers. And so yeah, so it was Rebel, herself, Rebel, and Tony Schiavone that will eat the hamburgers. And so yeah, so Rebel grabbed the hamburger, Britt Baker grabbed the hamburger, and Tony Schiavone he could not grab the hamburger. He grabbed the hamburger, but Britt Baker is like, here, this is how you hold a hamburger, Tony. And so yeah, they were getting ready to eat the hamburger. And so you had Nyla Rose. You had Nyla Rose that interrupted. You had Nyla Rose that smacked the hamburgers. Smacked the hamburgers out of all three of these hamburgers out of their hands. And so you had the burgers flying everywhere. She threw the tray of burgers in a in the crowd and all that stuff, which is unsanitary. I hope nobody ate that burger. That would have been nasty if somebody would have ate that burger. And so yeah, Rose, she destroyed everything. She was popping the balloons and all that stuff that was inside of the ring. And that was it with that. No, an absolute disaster, man. I am not a fan of food segments, dude, in wrestling. Like dude, all they do is throw food around, dude, and they waste food. They waste food by throwing it everywhere. And you have people starving all around the world, and these people want to throw hamburgers. They want to throw hamburgers, bro. Come on, dude. I was expecting more from this celebration, man. They want to throw hamburgers around. But yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a backstage segment. It was from Alex Marvez. He interviews Eddie Kingston, the Mad King, Eddie Kingston. And so yeah, so Marvez had asked Kingston about the Bucks and the Death Triangle. And so yeah, the Death Triangle had interrupted Eddie Kingston while he was talking. And so Pac and Pentagon, they said that, hey, we don't need your help. We don't need your help. So why don't you keep your nose out of our business, because we don't need your help, and we don't want your help. And so Eddie Kingston, he just says that, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And he said, just let that sink in. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so that was it with the segment. And so right after that, we had another match, and it was a women's match. It was the Bunny with the Blade in her corner, representing the Hardy family office, versus Red Velvet with Big Swole and Kylan King in her corner. And so yeah, with this match, yeah, we had the Bunny. She tried to attack Velvet from behind while Velvet was making her ring entrance. And so yeah, this is the most scariest part in this match, dude. We had Red Velvet. She had went for a tope suicida, man, on Allin, or the Bunny, whatever you want to call her. And when she hit the tope suicida on the Bunny, dude, she did not land it on her at all, man. She barely touched the Bunny. And so right off of that tope suicida, we had Red Velvet. She had landed right on her face. She landed right on her face, dude. I was scared for her, man. I was absolutely scared for her. And so yeah, she landed right on her face, bro. Landed right on her face. Dude, I'm shocked that she got up after that. The referee went to go check on her right away. And I'm just absolutely shocked that she got up after that and finished the match. Red Velvet is a tough lady, man. For her size, man, she is a tough lady. And so yeah, so she got up after that. She was okay, so I'm glad that she was fine. So yeah, so the Bunny had took control in the match, and we had a corner running elbow to Velvet. And so we had Velvet. She tried, she was fighting back. She had drop kicks to the Bunny, and she had a stunner to the Bunny, and we had a super kick to Velvet. And to end the match, we had Red Velvet. She had hit her finisher move. I think she calls it Just Dessert, and it's a spinning kick to the Bunny to win the match. So Red Velvet wins the match, and that was it with that. Really, really surprised that she got up after that, man. That could have been catastrophic, man. She could have easily broken her neck, man. She could have easily broken her neck off of that move, bro. But I'm glad that she was able to finish that match, bro. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the Dark Order. They spoke. All 27,000 of them, they had spoke. And so yeah, we had John Silver. I think it was his birthday or something like that. And he said that he wanted a title match. He went to Tony Khan and asked for a title match, but Tony Khan said that he's not medically cleared to compete. And so Silver he gave his championship opportunity to Evil Uno. So Evil Uno, he was honored that John Silver had gave him his title opportunity shot. And so that was it. And so Evil Uno said he will win the championship. And so right after that, we had Miro, not the NXT, the TNT champion. He spoke, and he had words for Evil Uno. Well, first off, he had mentioned his wife, Lana. He had mentioned his wife, Lana, the recently released WWE superstar Lana, his wife. And he said that he thanks Lana for being hot and all that stuff. So yeah, Lana is on her way to AEW, bro. She is on her way to AEW, and she will stand side by side with her husband. And we'll have a flashback, man, of the Bulgarian Brute and Lana. So so Miro, he has spoke about Evil Uno. He said that Evil Uno will get hurt, and he says that that's for everybody, man. Everybody that stands up to me, they will get hurt. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that was the main event, and it was the bull rope match. Now before we get into the main event, which is the bull rope match, let's talk about the next week's show. Talk about next week's show. So yeah, next week's show we have we on Saturday. Wow, it's gonna be Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and the Unified Impact World Champion, with Don Callis in his corner versus Jungle Boy with Jurassic Express in his corner, and it's for the AEW World Championship match, and it's live on Saturday, so it's gonna be Saturday, June the 26th. So yeah, it's gonna be Dynamite Saturday's edition. And then we have Miro versus Evil Uno for the TNT Championship. And we have the Young Bucks, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions, and Brandon Cutler versus Pac, Pentagon, and Eddie Kingston next Friday. And we have Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order's number 10. So Page had chose number 10 to be his partner against Will Hobbs and Brian Cage with the rest of Team Taz in their corner. And so yeah, so that was it with that. That's it for next week's show and the next couple of weeks. And so yeah, so right after that was the main event, and it was the bull rope match. So it was Dustin Rhodes representing the Nightmare Family versus Nick Comoroto with Aaron Solo in his corner representing the Factory. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they went right after each other, man. Nick Comoroto, he did not make his entrance. He went right after Dustin Rhodes, and then Comoroto, he had bench pressed Dustin Rhodes into the ring. And so yeah, so Comoroto, he had choked Rhodes with the bull rope, and then Comoroto, he had hit Rhodes with the bell on the bull rope. And so yeah, at that point they were fighting in the crowd, and then Comoroto, he was there he was in the crowd, and he had shoved Fuego del Sol to the ground. And so Fuego tries to fight back. Comoroto, I don't know why Fuego tried to fight back. And so yeah, so Comoroto, he had grabbed Fuego and just threw him into the fans, quote unquote the fans, which was the roster. And so yeah, so he threw him right on top of him. And so Comoroto, he was bleeding on his forehead. At first, I didn't know how he was bleeding, but they mentioned it on commentary that Dustin Rhodes had hit him with the bull rope, the bell on the bull rope. And so yeah, so Rhodes, he had took out Solo because Solo kept getting involved in the match. And so yeah, so we had a spear to Rhodes, and then Comoroto, he had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. They love their picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a powerbomb to Rhodes through the table, and he kicked out of that. And then Solo tried to get involved again, but Colton Gunn, the son of Billy Gunn, attacked Solo, so he went right at the Solo. And so we had Dustin Rhodes had hit his finishing move, the Final Reckoning, to Comoroto, and he kicked out at 1. Not 2, 1. Not 2, not 2.5, 1. He kicked out at 1. And so yeah, so both of these guys now going back and forth. And we had Dustin Rhodes that hit a bulldog to Camarado to win the match. And so yeah, so right before he went for the cover, he used the bull rope to hog tie. He had hog tied Camarado with the bull rope to get that leverage, to get that extra leverage on Camarado to win the match. So Dustin Rhodes wins the match, and that was it, man. The match was fine, but I would have much rather got rid of the interferences and all that stuff. I don't know why it was the main event of the show. That's just me. I don't know why it was the main event. Could have been somewhere else on the show, but not the main event. But and then another thing, I probably would have gave Camarado the win because you want to build up the future. The future should always go over the past. But I see why they went with Dustin Rhodes to win the match because he was undefeated. They said he was undefeated in the bull rope matches. And another thing, they wanted to send the fans home happy. So I guess that's why they had Dustin Rhodes win the match. So yeah, that was it with that. The Factory, man. The Factory are a bunch of losers, man. They are a bunch of losers, man. Nobody will not take them seriously. Nobody will not take them seriously. And so yeah, man, that was it with the show, man. That was it with Dynamite. Really, it wasn't the best show. It was okay. It was decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best show. The only highlight on the show, man, that everybody will be talking about is Andrade seeing Allin showing up on AEW. That's the only thing that people will be talking about. Nobody is not going to be talking about anything else but Andrade seeing Allin. And that's the facts, man. That's the truth. And so yeah, yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with Dynamite, man. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button there. Right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know my next video will come out because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And subscribe to the channel, man. And turn on that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of AEW Dynamite, Friday Night Dynamite. And yeah, man. And if you missed my last week's review, or yeah, if you missed my Double or Nothing review, the video is going to be right up here. And if you missed my last week's review, the video is going to be right here. Right here. Yeah. Double or Nothing is going to be right up here. And the last week's episode of Dynamite before Double or Nothing is going to be right here. And so, yeah, man. And once again, guys, man, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love and support for my show, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. It's Friday. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.